Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in again. Today we're going to go over where we're at on the car. I got some new things put on it. We got some things built out of the engine, and I just wanted to go ahead and show you what I got. All right, so first thing I want to go over is let's go over the engine, right? So we've been building that out for a while now. So this week and last week, I didn't really have a lot of time to help my dad work on the engine. We've been pulling in double time to get money to pay for this stuff. So he got the engine put together and it's mostly done. So let's just check it out. So we got. All right, let's start with this. So we got the spec stage 3 clutch installed. We have the forged internals installed into the engine. This little coppery shine stuff that you see right there, that's a copper sealant that you spray on your gaskets. Helps get rid of any imperfections. I'll have to end up like cleaning that overspray up, but that's just visual stuff right now. First and foremost, I want to go over that we are putting the engine together and making sure everything runs right before we start doing any like visual modifications to it, like powder coating the top, powder coating the sides, you know, doing a lot of different paint things to it. So once we get that going and we know the engine's good, the compression's good, and all that good stuff, then we'll go ahead and start working on like the beautification of the engine. Don't worry about these Spitfires. We're actually gonna get rid of those. We're going for the R35 coil pack conversion harness. So you can see here that we got the front facing intake manifold on by Zero Fab, and we have the Dishworks injectors installed. This was not the easiest thing to install, not like it had any problems or anything. It's just there are no instructions on front facing manifolds that I could find online anywhere at all. So we kind of had to just like figure this out on our own. It wasn't extremely hard, but it was like, okay, well, what goes here? What does this? What do these pipes go to? What is this, right? Specifically, we were like, what is this in the bag? We couldn't tell what it was in the bag until we started getting it up and we saw these holes right here. And I'm like, hey, those look like the holes to the water for the engine, right? And my dad was like, yeah, that's right. And I was like, so does this go to the radiator? And he was like, oh yeah, it might. So we started mocking it up, found out that it does go to the radiator. So if you get one of these, make sure that you put these lines on here. Each one of them are cut. Like this one, that one, and then there's one over here. Each one of them are cut to length. All you do is run it, you know, and put it over here on this right here. And it's gonna come with its own bracket that you're gonna put right there. And then these are gonna be the sensors, I'm assuming. We're gonna get an AN fitting for the sensors for that. This is the fuel rail, so we got the AN fitting installed here. So we got the AN fitting installed here to go to the Chase Bay's fuel system that we have. So I know y'all can't see it, but we have the Tomei timing belt, the Tomei head gears, cam gears on there. This is the ISR water pump that's on there. Yeah, so these are that little baggie of bolts that I got. I decided to start putting them on here and see what they started looking like. I mean, this is just a mock-up. I just wanted to see if it looked like it was worth it. So far, while we were putting things together, I haven't been extremely impressed with the Z-Spec kit. One, it doesn't have these at all, and you would think that they would have some stuff like this. It's got these, it's got this. I can't find where most of the rest of the bag goes to. I don't know. I mean, I know it's got these, the valley covers, but I don't even know if, I'm probably not even gonna put this back on whenever I get the R35 coil pack, so there's that. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, like, I'm not entirely too sure that was worth it for me. We'll see, like, as I get stuff put together, and maybe I'll understand where some of these bolts go, but I just thought I was gonna get more. I thought I was gonna get some for here, definitely here. I felt like I was gonna get some for here, did I? I don't know. Yeah, I think I got some for there. I don't know. I don't even remember anymore. Right, So now that we went over the engine, we see where we're standing at right now on it. Not too far to go on this. We got to get the exhaust manifold and the turbo put on, run the lines for that. We're gonna get all the vacuum hoses set up for it and so on and so forth. And then we'll be able to start dropping it in the car where the engine bay is still a complete disaster. We're gonna have to get that cleaned up. I'm not too thrilled about that. So let's go over the wheels. If you guys saw my preview post on YouTube, I had my foot up against the tire. The tire is massive. That is not photoshopped. That is legit. And I have a big foot. I wear a size 12. So I got the tires, and before that I had the wheels. And I went and got the tires and the wheels put on, and they are on the car. So let's take a look. All right, so for my wheels, I have Conse's 18 by 10.5 plus 12 offset on the car, and that is squared all the way around. It's all-wheel drive, so you got to keep all of your wheels squared. You can't have bigger in the back and smaller in the front. It's just not gonna work. These are big tires. I was not entirely too sure I was gonna be able to get them to fit, like right out of the box, but they do. So let me show you the fitment on it. I mean, that is tight. That is really tight. So this is like, to me, this is pretty flush. It probably would need the tiniest of fender roll, just because like how it goes straight back. Like it's just like a straight back flap right there. Maybe push that in a little bit, so whenever the car does go down, it'll have some room to not hit this side right here. We'll get to that though, eventually. So the car doesn't have coilovers on it at all. If you can see, let's take a little back up and look at the side. Right, so it's not sitting extremely high, but it definitely needs some coilovers to get it down a little bit lower. So the tires I got were Nittos, the NT 555s, and they are just huge. Look, like, it's, yeah. I mean, they're super close to hitting those back in the back. I mean, I couldn't go any bigger on this car, honestly. So with the wheels, I ordered some lug nuts to go with the car from Mishimoto, and I ordered them blue. Unfortunately, what I got was not blue. So what I got was neochrome. I'm not a fan of neochrome. That's just my personal preference. They're not horrible looking, like, but they're just not what I'm looking for. They're very green to me. There's a lot of green, and I'm going with blues, so this does not work for me. So I contacted Mishimoto and I told them you sent me the wrong stuff, so hopefully they'll get that fixed pretty soon and get my lug nuts out to me, and we get this car like buttoned up. So Conseil sent me out some hub citric rings that fit my car specifically, and so we're gonna get these put on, get the old ones taken off, so there'd be no wheel wobble at all with this. I was looking at Conseil's website, and they had different colored caps, and I saw this one online, and I thought it was kind of close to that neon blue color, even though it was labeled teal. It just might be my computer screen, honestly. So I bought these. They're not horrible. I don't know what they're gonna look like on the wheels, but I'm definitely gonna pop them on. We'll see what they look like. If I love them, they'll stay on. If not, then I'll just order the actual blue ones, and then we'll get those put on. I started to work on the short hub adapter for the removable wheel for the NRG stuff. The problems I ran into here are that when I talked to NRG, they told me I needed to order the S14 adapter, which I did. But the problem is, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can get a better shot of it. You see this line right there? It's not allowing me to push this back any further. So I don't know what to do there. I just don't feel like that's where it's supposed to be, but there's no install instructions at all that I could find for my car. So I'm having to figure it out on my own. other than getting the engine put together, basically, getting some new wheels, getting those fitted on there, getting some parts that didn't necessarily work for the car in, that's where we're at this week. I'm still working with the turbo companies that I've reached out to, Precision Garrett, Turbonetics, to see what they would recommend for my specific application that I'm going for. I understand that we're still going through COVID and not a lot of people are in the offices, and if they are, their responses are slow because they're overloaded. So I really hope to hear from those people soon to figure out what we're gonna go for the car, what applications we're gonna use. And at that point, like, I can figure out which exhaust manifold that I'm going with as well. Because I don't wanna order like a V-van exhaust manifold and then order like a T4 turbine housing and it just not match up at all. That would be devastating. We're pretty much almost done with the engine, totally, completely done with the engine. Building it, of course, and then we can start running it and firing up and hear what it sounds like. And I'm excited for that. So some other things that happened is I got in touch with Wiring Specialties. They're gonna make me a custom wiring harness for my car. I told them what we were doing on the application, where we're at, what we're looking like, what we're gonna add to the car, what we're gonna take out of the car. Of course, I'm keeping AC because it is hot in Texas and I like AC. So another big thing that happened was that I'm part of this like raffle group online that's that kind of like does little raffles for car parts and such. And I entered one. I've entered a couple, you know, just throw like 20, 30 bucks here and there every once in a while. It's kind of like a scratch off addiction. And I haven't won anything until last week. So I won a Haltech IC7 Dash. So that's coming in and it's going in there. And I'm pretty excited about that. I don't have an Haltech ECU yet, but this kind of just pushes me to get that as fast as possible. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. I know that a lot of you are really excited to see the car running just as much as I am, and that really hypes me up to keep me going. I just want to drive the car, man. I really just want to drive the car like how it was meant to be driven. Yeah, so that about wraps it up for this video. We didn't have any parts to unbox in this video, mainly because we were building out the engine this week and putting it together. And I got the tires and the wheels in and put those on the car. So it's been a wonderful week. It's been a journey this week, and I'm excited to see where we move from here. So I appreciate everybody watching this episode. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It helps me grow my channel greatly. We'll be able to put out a little bit more content a little bit faster. All of my content comes from me able to buy car parts to put it in this car. So that requires money. Eventually we'll get to the monetization process, but for now I just gotta do what I gotta do and work as hard as I can to get as much parts in here as fast as possible so we get this built up. But I appreciate everybody watching the videos, sticking with me so far, and yeah, we'll see you next time. See you.